Good morning, guys. It is Dyno Day. Calling to the boys.
Woo! Oh, I fucking.
So yeah, on my way to work right now to Hasport. I'm gonna go in for a couple hours, and then the dyno originally started at 12, but then Emiliano wanted to get his done because he was able to get it go on lunch that hour, so I was gonna go at 2, but his car is acting up, so he's not doing it today then. So I'm back at noon. So it's gonna be work, dyno, and then I'm pretty sure back to work. So I'm pretty stoked after doing a little bit more research. I'm feeling comfortable with a max of 210 on horsepower, at least at the wheels, and then like 160 torque. That seems a bit more realistic. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. So yeah, heading over here for a few hours, and I'll catch up with you guys on the way to the dyno. Alright, so I just showed up to the dyno out here in Tempe at Exact Dyno, to be exact. So he's just gonna get the machines set up. It's not a roller dyno, it's one of the ones where you take the front wheels off and you like bolt it to the hubs. I don't know what it's called, but you'll see here in a moment. So I just am here by myself right now, and then Brian is going to be showing up here shortly. Like I said, Emiliano, he's having issues. His car is just not doing what it's supposed to, so he's thinking maybe a bent valve or something, but something's wrong with his, so he will not be getting tuned today, unfortunately. So it looks like it's just me, but that's okay. So let's get to it. So just to catch you guys up to speed, if you're new to the channel or you're just stumbling across this video, what it is it is a bone stock internal K20 A2 from the 2004 RSX Type S with matching transmission. I'm running JBtuned custom fuel lines for the swap. I'm using AEM fuel pressure regulator, AEM fuel rail, stock injectors, stock fuel pump and whatnot, and then just a K-tuned 4-to-2-to-1 header with a 3-inch thermal dynamics slash JBtuned exhaust. And that's pretty much the extent of it. So I'm looking probably a solid, I'm hoping for 210, but we'll find out here shortly. If you guys running the same setup, like same motor, drop it in the comments, let me know. Let me see your Instagrams or something.
So stoked.
So everybody's gonna want to know what happened to your car too.
There's something wrong with the motor. We gotta do a compression test because it just doesn't pull. It doesn't pull. It's like you don't feel the difference in VTEC, nothing. It's just, since day one, the motor hasn't been running good. So we're gonna do a compression test on it. Probably check the valves to see if they're not bent. Pretty much just check it out because I drove a stock TSX, and stock 6-speed TSX, and the VTEC crossover in that thing, you could just feel it. It sounded a lot better, and it moved. I was like, what the f. So.
It's been doing that since we put the swap in, because I remember going to IBOC, it didn't even have any giddy up then, so it's not like something you did.
Yeah, so I just think the motor was hurt before, you know? It just never really bothered, but the B16 was in it, pulled a lot harder, in my opinion.
That's pretty sad.
But we'll fix that.
Yeah. Before anybody comments, the chirping is my slave cylinder. I've got air in the system that I can't get rid of because I'm using a cheap old $30 O'Reilly's slave cylinder. So it's not broken, it's just squeaky. a cable cluster, obviously electronic sensor for the ECU. So we made a jumper wire from the cluster to the harness. So he's dialing it in for me. Some calculations need to be made based off of tire size and whatnot, because I'm using a CRX speed sensor, and obviously, again, like I said, a cable instead of a electronic sensor. So that's what he's doing right now, and then get on to the tune after that.
It might actually be it. I can see it bounce.
The mount?
The bracket.
Oh.
Yeah. So the engine may have a particular harmonic at a certain frequency, and that's allowing that to move a little bit. And
well, we got to do the fuel and the spark, right? Like everybody does. But with the K series engine, you have all the cam timing tables. So
I noticed that you're going through what, second gear or something?
Fourth gear. Always fourth gear. Yeah. So. Yeah, so basically right now I'm kind of establishing the fuel first. So we get the fuel in, and then I'll mess around with the ignition, and then I'll mess around with the cam timing.
Yeah, because I noticed you weren't just going straight for power runs right away. I knew there was a process to build up.
Yeah, so we'll do all that on the little cam, and then I won't start the runs as low, and we'll do the high cam. So yeah, there's a lot to do.
So you're thinking like, what's your solid guess for this motor?
They almost always do, like I said, 200 210. So I would say we'll probably be 205 to 210.
Right on.
Yeah.
Even with a 3-inch and header and.
Yeah, because that's typically what everybody has.
All right.
Is that stuff? Yeah.
Cool. So if you guys didn't quite understand what Tim was saying, right now he's tuning on the low cam. That's why there hasn't been any VTEC crossovers yet, because he's finding out kind of where the power band starts and whatnot, and making adjustments as needed. So he just killed the car here, so I'm sure he's going to make a few more minor adjustments and then get ready to tune for the high cam. So then we'll hear some crossovers, and then once that's set up, we're going to set up launch control, I believe, just like I had before on my B20 VTEC. Getting there. That one was 195, yeah, 195 and 150 torque. So, getting there. That's about all it has left in it.
Yeah.
The 196.
Yeah.
I think it's the intake holding it back.
It could be, yeah, because that's a real common swap, you know.
Yeah.
So, and you can definitely fit it. Looks like so.
Yeah. Just had to get a few more bends in there, and then I was gonna probably just move the overflow a little bit so I can run it back down by the ground.
Yep. And I can't seem to affect the cluster. It doesn't work. Yeah. I've tried every which way.
was expecting, but not really bad, right? This is what's holding me back. Alright, so I just left the dyno. Final numbers were 197.5 horsepower and like 150, 149.8 torque or whatever. Not what I was hoping for, but I mean, it is again a bone stock engine with just a short ram intake that I need to make into a cold air intake, because I was getting, even with the fan blowing straight on it, I was still getting 120 degree intake air temps. So that's that, and the manifold is pretty much where I'm losing all my power. So future upgrades are definitely an RBC manifold, definitely making myself a actual cold air intake. I'm gonna just have to make one, kind of bend it around my radiator hose and stuff, but we'll make it work. So yeah, I'm stoked. The car right now on the low end feels so much better. I know when we started on the base map, the torque was only right around 130, so 20 more pounds of torque, like I'm definitely noticing it. And I mean, this may be a lot, or this may be low numbers to a lot of you guys, but this is technically the fastest car I've ever owned now. So slowly progressing, can only go up from here, I suppose. Car's back home now. It's running amazing, like I said. So really, only thing I plan on doing to it is I actually just got an RBC manifold yesterday. My boss gave me one. So shout out to Brian at Hassport. So all I need to do really is get a new throttle body. I'm gonna get a slightly bigger one. I'm gonna go with the K20 70mm one. I think stock throttle body size on these is 67. So anything bigger than the 70 really is not going to be any use for me, because I don't have any head work done, no cams, nothing. So taking in more air than I can combust. So RBC manifold, new slightly bigger throttle body, fab up an actual intake instead of one that's going right behind the hot side of the radiator, and I should be able to see, I think, easy 210. I mean, yesterday I had to deal with the heat because I'm out here in Arizona, and then if you guys don't already know, sea level plays a factor in all this too, and I think I'm like 2,000 feet above sea level. So for all you guys out in California that are making like 240 or like 230 on like stock K20s, bro, like you guys got Church's dyno, which is like an easy 20 horsepower up than everybody else's dyno in the world. And I know roller dynos are a little bit off of actual power, because the way it was explained to me is essentially because of tire mass and rotational whatever, blah blah blah. I personally don't care, because I really don't care about the numbers. I mean, to me it's interesting to learn and whatnot, and just to know that my car is 200 horsepower, 150 foot-pounds of torque now, like sick. But I don't care about the numbers. So before anybody goes and comments about, oh, your motor made no power or something like that, like 140,000 miles, a macaroni noodle for an intake, and bone stock. Like, I really can't complain. The motor rips now. It's extremely smooth on and off throttle now. Before it was a bit jerky. Now it's just all my power is there all the time, and it just feels really good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If any of you guys have K20A2s out there and you're looking to kind of see what realistic numbers are, hopefully this is a good example for you. If you got some more bolt-ons, or maybe better bolt-ons, maybe expect a couple more. Maybe if you have nothing, maybe expect right on the same, maybe a little bit less. But again, three factors are 140,000 miles above sea level, and it was hot yesterday, and my I'm holding myself back with my intake and stuff. So so if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, be sure to comment, and be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel, and turn on those post notifications, because otherwise you won't know when I upload new videos, because YouTube sucks. So yeah, other than that, guys, do what you love, forget about the rest. I will start hopefully ordering stuff for this here very shortly. K20 shifter will be here Friday, and hopefully we can get this RBC slapped on with a new throttle body and get it retuned, hopefully maybe within the next month. Not holding my breath, but that's what I'm gonna work for. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.